Hi guys, happy Monday. I hope everyone had a good Monday so far. It is the end of the day, and today I felt inspired to speak about something that often people don't understand, and that is why I'm going to speak about it, is to try and give you a bit of knowledge and understanding. So what I'm going to speak about is why victims in an abusive relationship don't leave the relationship. So I'm just going to mention a few points that I think are some of the main points and the main reasons why they don't leave. So the first one I'm going to speak about is fear. So often the person in an abusive relationship will be very fearful. Fearful in general of that person that they're with, the abuser, and fearful to leave the abuser. And the reason is because the abuser is constantly threatening them and abusing them. So naturally they see them as a scary person and someone that's stronger than them and bigger than them and someone that they don't think that they can take on in any way. And often what happens is, if the abuser gets the idea that the partner wants to leave them, they will threaten them. They will tell them that they're going to kill them, they're going to find them and beat them up, or they're going to beat up their parents or their brothers and sisters or friends and family. And because often the person being abused doesn't speak out about it and it's constantly being told to them and they're constantly in fear of this person, they believe these things and they build up so much fear towards this leaving this partner that they end up staying because they believe what's being said and rather avoid being killed, or rather avoid family members getting hurt, or whatever it may be. Sometimes the partner in the relationship looks at it and says, you know what, being with this person is less of a risk than if I leave them. So that's a big one. That is a very big one. And as I said, because a lot of the time the partner in the abusive relationship doesn't open up to anyone or doesn't discuss it, only as an opinion and a version of one person, and that's the abuser. And the abuser's point and the abuser's goal is to put the fear into them so that they don't go anywhere. And often they get that right and they achieve it. So that is one of the reasons why someone will not leave an abusive relationship. And just to touch on that, often, I've seen a lot of times that the justice system lets you down. The police system, although it can help you, there's not that 100% feeling that, you know what, they've got my back and nothing's going to happen. There's a lot of times where you don't trust them or you don't feel that they care about what can happen. So, it's a catch. Do you get, law enforcement involved, the police, and are they going to do something? Or are you going to get them involved and just make your partner more angry and they don't do anything and you get more, you get threatened more, or you put in a worse off situation? And the second one I'm going to mention is being embarrassed. So often what happens in an abusive relationship is your partner or the abuser tells the partner that, you know what, the reason I did this, the reason I hit you, or I called you names, or whatever form of abuse it is, the reason is because you made me do that. So they're getting told that constantly and constantly. So when the time comes that they think, I need to tell someone about this, or I need to discuss it, thought goes through their head like, but this is embarrassing, and they believe that it's them, like they've done it. So are other people going to think that? Are other people going to think, well, maybe she's crazy and maybe she pushed him that far that he did that? And to add on to that, you being in an abusive relationship, or a person being in an abusive relationship, often 9 times out of 10, or actually 10 out of 10, they break down your self-esteem constantly. They're always breaking you down, always breaking you down, always breaking you down. So it goes hand in hand with telling someone you don't have confidence in yourself, and you often believe that yes, maybe you are the reason that they've done this, or you are the reason that they get so angry, and you have that low self-esteem that you don't believe in yourself, and you don't believe and really truly believe that, you know what, I'm not a bad person, and what is happening to me is not my fault. I'm not the reason for it. So that's another one why people in an abusive relationship don't leave. Number 3. This for a lot of people is like absurd, and you know, a lot of people won't understand it, but it's the partner in the abusive relationship, they've been abused, they often feel that they love their abuser. And this is normal. This is very normal, because you must remember that the abuser is human, and they do grow a love for this abuser, and it's a natural thing, but mainly because you've seen the good in your partner before, the abuser, and after they abuse you, like I've mentioned before, in the abuse cycle is the honeymoon phase, where they apologize to you and they say sorry, and they give you love, and they give you attention, and they buy you things, and they'll never do it again, and you're the love of their life. And because it's a continuous cycle and it's always happening, it's basically embedded in your brain and in your head that, but they're not so bad, and you start to think of it as, okay, I love them so much, and they, on their good days, they're so good, so I just want them on their good days, and I just hope that maybe they will, you know, stop abusing me, and it will go away, it will get better. And you know, you've just formed this whole picture in your head, and you so desperately want the good of them. And that's also because they've portrayed like a good side of them, and they're often manipulating, and you know, they know how to play the game. And you, as a person in the relationship, or someone you know that's being abused, they can't see the wood from the trees. They can't see that, no, this person is not good, and they don't love me, and there's not good in them. It's just a show, it's just an act, and it's just manipulation. Because no one who beats you up and hits you and calls you names loves you. They don't love you. That is not love. And often the partner being abused thinks that they love this person, and you know, because they're also with them all the time, and their partner, they grow a bond with them regardless of what's happening. You know, naturally they grow a bond, naturally they grow a love for them. But either way, it's not natural. I mean, it's not normal, and it's not healthy. And a lot of people get that mistaken and stay for that reason. And it never changes, and a lot of the time they're just hoping for it to change. And the last one I'd like to mention is young girls getting into an abusive relationship. And when I say young girls, I mean teenagers in school. And the reason why I say they don't leave are all of the mentioned ones that I've already said, but also because they're too young to understand what's going on. They are too emotionally immature to understand the seriousness of the situation. So, you know, while they're in this relationship, they know it's bad. They know it's bad. They know that something's not right and it's not normal. But they don't know enough. They don't know what the long-term effects are of being physically abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused. They don't realize it. And often they date people that are older than them at the time, and you know, you don't know enough. You're still innocent. It might be your first real relationship, your second relationship, and you are still learning and growing all the time. So what you see at that age and what you see when you're older are two very different things. And because it's not spoken about, and a lot of people don't know the long-term effects of being in that relationship, it's kind of brushed off, and they're gonna get better, or it's, you like kind of start to accept that that's how it's gonna be, and you know, you don't realize the seriousness of it. So those are some of the reasons why someone in an abusive relationship doesn't leave, or they leave and they go back to their partner. So like I always like to say is, if you know someone, whether it's your cousin, your sister, your friend, your daughter, whatever it may be, try to understand abuse. Try and read up about it. Understand what that person may be going through, or what they're thinking, or how they react to these situations, and then give help. But don't get frustrated and angry and, just impatient with that person because you don't understand it. If you care, take the time to read up about it, understand it, and read articles, read information on ways to help that person. And I promise you it will go a very long way in helping them, rather than giving up on them or being impatient with them or just being angry and frustrated. There's a lot involved in an abusive relationship. There's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of things that, because of the way the abuser treats that person, they bring them down, they take all the control, they confuse them, they take over. They stop relationships with anyone else. They don't allow you to be friends with certain people. They talk about your family to the point where you don't speak to your family. So it's often just the person being abused with the abuser. So there's no one involved and no one to try and guide them and help them. And people get upset and frustrated, and then that's when the person being abused backs away, because they're already feeling, they have a low self-esteem, they already have fear, and they don't have faith and trust in anyone because people just backing away or getting angry or getting agitated. So by you showing care, by you showing, persistency with them, that, I'm here for you, and helping them maybe find ways and speaking to them and listening to them, that could help them remove themselves completely from an abusive relationship. So just something to think about, and I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, or if you want me to do any specific video that you might want to understand, or you want someone to speak about, please let me know, and I'll be more than welcome to do it.